We thank you, God, now for this evening. We bless you for those that are here. We ask in prayer, God, now that you continue to give us understanding and knowledge of your word, God, that we'll continue to practice that you give it unto us, and we'll continue to give you praise, glory, and honor. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Before we
We're on lesson 5, Holy Communion.
Before we go to Holy Communion, I got a question.
Sir?
I said, before we get to Holy Communion, I got a question I want to ask. I need to ask a question. Let me have my Bible. Turn to Isaiah 55 for me. Isaiah 55. Yes, ma'am. 55. We said, amen. Oh, you gonna get there? Oh, you're trying to get there. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know what you said.
I want to bruise my Bible.
You don't want to bruise the Bible? Oh, okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that. Isaiah 55. It says, "Behold, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that have no money, come ye buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear, and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David." Did y'all read that with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to go into the lesson that we got in the community, but I need to ask this question. Why do you think Isaiah said, come if you don't have no money and still buy?
Because the salvation is free.
Salvation is what?
Free.
Free?
You don't have to pay for it.
You don't have to pay for it? Why would he say come though? Why would he say if you don't have no money? Most of us believe that if you're gonna get something, you can't steal it.
We can get something in one.
You can't steal it, so you get it and you gain it. And I'm gonna tell you where I'm going, so you know where I'm going. I've been talking about believing God. I've been talking about believing what God says, and I think a lot of people we have a lot of excuses about what we won't do. We have a lot of excuses about what God won't do with me, and sometimes I have an inability of my own, in my own self. And so I was reading that, and I kept thinking, I said, why would Isaiah say that? And so we look at that. If I don't have no faith in God, if I don't have no trust in God, if I don't have no belief in God, because he said, don't worry about what you can't have. He said, you can trust me, you can have anything. And so he said, come. He said, he that have no money, come ye buy. How can you buy it and you don't have money? But you're still gonna eat. It's your belief. So what do we believe? What do we really believe? Do we leave here on Sunday morning or Tuesday night or whenever we come or whenever we talk to people? You know, and I noticed that a lot of people, when we're doing okay or when we're trying to show people that we're all right, we talk a good game about everything is well.
Yeah.
But when I close my door and nobody see me but me, I got a doubt in my mind of what God will do for me.
Okay.
And so I thought it was important to us that if we're going to even look at the lesson tonight, because if you're going to look at Holy Communion, how do I have a relationship with a God I don't believe in?
And that's a fact.
You can't have a relationship. You can't have communion. Matter of fact, Holy Communion. Because we have so many doubts, and I think a lot of time we get in trouble with stuff. We get in trouble with the decisions we make and different things of that nature, and we start questioning. We're questioning, and a lot of times God will pull us down to almost nothing. He pull us down to almost nothing, and we really have to depend on God. But I started doubting the God that I was serving when I was singling up. When I was able to write the check, and I knew it wasn't gonna bounce. When I was able to go to the car lot or to the mortgage company, whatever I was able to do, I was good. But when it came down to the point where I really had to depend on God, do I really trust God for what He said?
Yes, sir.
Like I'm gonna have to trust Him, right?
Yes.
And so it can't be a thing to where we talk this talk, because I told you Sunday that we're going into a war now.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, we're in a war. It's not about us getting relief that He's gonna come back and receive His own up, and we're gonna get out of the trouble and the tribulations and different things of that nature. I got to go through something. I got to go through some hard times, some crying times. Proverbs talked about your tears of sorrow become tears of joy. Why did He say it? Because I got to go through something in order to get to that place, because I got to trust God like I want God to trust me.
Amen.
It got to be a balance in there to where I'm doing everything that God says. And so He said, if you don't have no money, still come. Don't let that stop you.
Okay.
Don't let that be a hindrance to you. If you trust me, I'm going to do what I told you I was going to do. That make good sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just thought I'd share it with y'all tonight.
Amen.
Thought I'd share it. Holy Communion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cynthia wondered where he going with that. I was on the road. Yes, ma'am.
That is so true too. I think so many people, they make trust in God a second option. They want to try everybody, they want to try everything. But as true believers, that should be a lifestyle for us to just trust God all the time, even in your downtime and your uptime. But I'm trusting God. He is my first priority. I'm not like trying all these other things and then I'm saying, okay, God, I tried all this stuff. Now let me try it.
Well, now, if you look at it, that's how we've been taught.
Okay.
We've been taught that. We've actually been taught that. We've been taught to do everything else. Alleviate all your other options, and God is your last option. That's what we've been taught. That's what we've been taught. As a people, we've been taught that. And now I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you how we've been not. I'm gonna tell you about me. I can't tell you about you. But this is how we was taught, because they always said that you don't ask God crazy questions and all that kind of stuff. And you go and do what you got to do, and you have to respect God, and you can't do that in God's house. But all these things that God had actually given us revelation of in this time that I've been studying, it's a lot of revelation that's been given. We was actually taught stuff that they didn't understand, and they said, don't do it. They didn't understand how you could. The Bible said, come boldly before the throne of grace. And so if I can come boldly before the throne of grace, that means I come with no reservations on me. I don't have no resistance. I mean, I can come. I can tell him anything. I can talk to God like I talk to Miss Parker. And I can actually tell him I got a problem. I got some issues. I got some situations that I can't handle. And I need you to handle it. Even if you got some stuff, you got some hang-ups. You might smoke, you might drink, it might be just things. I ought to be able to tell God about it, shouldn't I?
Yes, sir.
Should I be so saved, so holy to a man that know me, even before I start talking? And so I'm gonna fool him too. Yeah, So we've been taught the fact that we cannot come like we come, and so we have to be poor. My granddad used to tell me that rich folk won't make it to heaven. Wealthy folk, that's what he used to say. He said, wealthy folk, rich folk wouldn't make it to heaven. Because they read that scripture about it's easy for a camel to get through our easy for a rich man to go to heaven. And he didn't understand that part, but But that's what they were taught. And so most people, most of us believe that if you got wealthy or rich, you wasn't saved. You couldn't get it, so you had to give up. You had to give away everything. Yeah, foolish stuff. Anyway, let me get to the lesson. All right. It says the night before he was executed, Jesus shared one last meal with his disciples. During the meal, he took some bread, tore it into pieces, and passed it around the table. He told the disciples to take and eat the bread. This is my body, he said. Moments later, he passed around a cup, telling them each to drink, saying, this is my blood of the covenant. In Matthew 26:29. Jesus told his disciples to eat and drink in remembrance of him. This communion, as it is often called, represents Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, as well as our new life, our new relationship with him. To this day, followers of Jesus observe communion in the obedience to him. What were the early disciples devoted to? Let's look at Acts 2. It says they continued steadfast in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and breaking bread and prayers. What were they devoted to?
They were devoted to the doctrine and
Fellowship
fellowship,
and breaking bread
breaking the bread and
prayer.
prayer.
Doctrine, fellowship, breaking bread and prayer. The Word of God, making sure they was with each other on the same path, breaking bread and praying.
Same.
On the same accord. Yes, sir.
Break that word down, breaking bread.
Breaking bread, eating together.
Eating and
Drinking and what have you together. It was like a dinner. Yeah, they were eating together. I didn't hear you.
You know how they used to sing the song, let us break bread together?
Oh, yeah. Well, in the old church, we didn't have a lot of stuff in the old church. And so most of the time on Sunday, people would bring something from home.
Right.
And they would all eat together because they didn't have enough to feed their home. So everybody got together and fed at the church. They got some food at home, And so that's basically what it's talking about. We're gonna eat together. And I think that when you look at that if a word is being given, when it's talking about the apostle doctrine, when the word is being given, and then you start fellowshipping, coming together and breaking bread together. So the fellowship ought to be a true fellowship. It ought to be a unified effect, because we all have to be in unity. And so if I'm going to eat with you, I ought to be able to trust you.
Amen.
Yeah, I ought to be able to trust you if I'm going to eat with you. I won't eat with you, I'll trust you. Amen. When I was a sinner, when I was a real sinner. Real son. I don't know if y'all heard. They said, don't go to these women's house and eat the spaghetti and stuff. They said, don't go. And so a lot of times folks start talking about, do you want something to eat? No. That wasn't good fellowship. That wasn't good fellowship. That was, no. I don't trust you. No. It wasn't that you couldn't cook. Amen. So they had 4 things that they did that they were devoted to. And when you look at the devotion of it, I mean, they called it. They was committed to doing this. They was actually committed. It wasn't a jump in and jump out type deal. They was committed to doing what they needed to do. Let's look at 1 Corinthians 11. Tim, I mentioned that eating. You asked what that breaking bread. I mentioned that eating. My stomach went to ground. I got home.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'll tell you. Let's see, 1 Corinthians 11. 26. It said, what is proclaimed when we have communion? For as often as we eat this bread and drink this cup, we show the Lord's death till he comes. So we show that we believe, we show his death until he comes. We show that he died in me, he died. I'm having communion with him. I've had a relation with him. Now, a lot of people don't really actually want relationship with Christ. They don't want a relationship with Christ. You know, a lot of people don't believe in the communion part of it. And we'll get to part of that in the lesson. We talked about how we have to ask that God will forgive us before we take the communion. Well, a lot of people won't take it. And I see people even here some Sundays that when we do communion, they don't take communion for whatever reason. They don't take communion because they don't believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. And so when people don't take communion, they have a fellowship with Christ. Now, we was taught to take communion with them.
Yes, sir.
Why were we taught that? What'd you say to that?
It's not as a tradition.
It's a tradition. Was it an ordinance that Christ gave us though? We ought to baptize and have communion.
You ask people on the altar, you ask my parents, what was the purpose of communion? That's just a part of the church.
Part of the church, they didn't know. So why do we take it now? It's still part of the church.
No.
No, right. We grew up.
We grew up.
Yes, sir. We know that.
So is it doing anything for us though?
Yes, sir.
Should.
Yes, sir.
Why you got that look at it? You got this look.
Well, you know, my mom always told us about Christ's death and then forward to his second coming when it said death till he comes. So we reflect on his death and then we forward to his second coming because he is coming back. So it's almost like, you know, when Jesus put the rainbow in the sky to let us know that he's always there, he's coming back. Well, that's what we were always taught, that it's a commemoration of his death, and that we know that he's coming back.
So when Peter said, I want to know him, would that be part of that what you know?
When Peter said, I want to know
Yeah, he
him.
said, I want to know him. I want to know him. I want to know about his suffering, about his resurrection, about his death. Will we say that's part of your community? Could be.
Yeah.
I want to know. And I'm not joshing with y'all now. Because see, I think that when we start teaching something, I think that people get the roundabout part of it. They don't dive in with you. You know, it's kind of like when you get to fighting, you got folk that'll boost you on, and once you pass that lick and the other person passes the lick, they kind of just stand back. I ain't getting in that. That's they fight.
Okay.
You know, kind of that kind of thing. Because, you know, I watch sometimes on the news, on Facebook, you know, all this stuff is going on. Like somebody slapped the baby the other day. I saw that on Facebook, and they said they ought to make this viral. Well, somebody was slapping the baby, but somebody was holding the camera.
That's right.
So why couldn't the person holding the camera stop the person from hitting them? You follow me? So if we're gonna do communion, I think that when I ask the question about what do it mean to me, you know, I want to be involved. I want to be able to feel the pressure, the strain, and that's why I said that we have to go through some things. Because even in the communion, knowing that he's coming back, I don't want him to just come back and I get royalties off something that I didn't go through. I want to be able to gain something by me having a relationship with him. Because in any relationship, if you're going to have a relationship, there's some stuff you're going to go through to make it right.
Amen.
Right? And so if there's no timing, if there's no fight, if there's no trouble, there's no just stuff, then a lot of times people don't understand that I have a relationship, I have communion with God. Because I haven't been through nothing. I actually kind of just got to that point to where I got something I thought I was entitled to because he promised it to me. But if we look at it and they had relation in that 26th verse there, for as often as you eat this and drink this cup, you show the Lord's death till he comes. And so you can do it. You can do it every day. And what you're saying is that I believe what he said. I believe him dying. I believe him dying for me. I believe that I couldn't die for myself. And so he died for me. He got up for me. He gave me power and authority to do what I need to do. But I had to believe that he did it. And so if I don't have the communion, then what I really say is, go and do something else. That's basically, what I'm saying. And so it says in 3, it says, what are we guilty of as we receive communion in an unworthy manner? Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. Now this is my next question. What is unworthily?
It's referring to the way we do it, the way we eat it. Back some of the Caribbeans, how they were like overeating and they would get drunk instead of like, because their bread and stuff would lie down now. They didn't have the pieces of tart or whatever.
They had some real wine.
They had real wine. They had their bread was like
bread.
That Longhorn bread. That Outback Steakhouse bread.
Oh God.
That thick bread. So some of them were like overeating and they were over drinking and they were not like really reflecting on Christ's death, remembering him.
They were just eating just to.
Right, so God don't want us to do it in an unworthy manner. Now my mom, they could tell us, even if a person is hungry, come Sunday morning, got communion. Communion is not for like, I'm finna get full, I'm gonna overdrink. It's
well, now that was a scripture in the Bible where they went in the temple and ate the bread.
Right.
And they was wrong on it. But now, we was taught, now I'm going back, that's why I asked the question. We was taught that unworthy is you had something in your life. You had some sin in your life.
Exactly.
Right? We was taught that.
Yeah, that's what we were taught.
Yeah. It was they were taught, they said we had some sin going on. And, we couldn't. But now, if we take it, and let's say I got something on me, the Bible says that Jesus made me worthy by dying on Calvary, right?
Right.
So he made me worthy of where I was. So when you say drinking unworthily, why would he say? He said, shall be guilty of the body and the blood of Jesus, of the Lord. I think the unworthily is not accepting it to the fullness. I think that doubt of you. You doubted your relationship with Christ.
That's unworthy.
That's unworthy.
Okay, would it be unworthy if I went out on Saturday night and did all kinds of, fornication and all that kind of stuff? Then when I come to church, then it is the same thing as saying I'm unworthy to take communion then, right?
No, you can get forgiveness then.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, see, that's what we flawed at.
Yeah, but okay, I can get forgiveness then, right?
Right.
Okay, what about the next weekend? That's what I'm saying.
Well, now think about this, and that's a good question you're asking. Now, you can't play with God either.
And that's a fact.
Now, because see, we have to be in a position to where if I'm gonna really get right, the Bible said I ought to repent.
That's right. And once you do, then that'll take the taste out of your mouth from going.
Right. You shouldn't turn back to say, well, I done did this today. I'm going back next week. See that was yeah. You didn't really get right. But I don't think the unworthily was a part of you sinning per se with the drinking and the going out. I think it was your relationship with Christ. It was not fit. It was not up to par. You didn't have a closest a catch. It's kind of like putting that bulb in the light thing, and you didn't screw it in all the way, so it didn't have no connection, and it'll blink every now and then. And so I believe that when we start looking at unworthy, you're not really there. And I think a lot of people felt like they was there because now when Cynthia was talking about a few minutes ago how they did it in the temple. Now they had a brothel in one temple. They had church on one side and a brothel on the other side where they did prostitution and different things.
In the church.
In the church. Yeah, in the church, in the Corinthian church.
Oh.
Yeah, in Corinthian church, they did a but yeah, and so they did this kind of stuff. And so Paul was making reference to the fact of what your relationship was with Christ. And so that's why I said that we was taught a lot of stuff simply because we didn't understand. And when you start really reading the background, the history, and the stuff that really went on at that time, then a lot of the stuff that we come up with, we just didn't read the whole story. And so it caused us to say the sin caused me not to be unworthy. It's kind of like having, doing the fornication of the adultery or having a child out of wedlock. God don't push you out because you had a child out of wedlock. He don't push you out because you did fornication. He said you can get forgiveness of it. And so that's where I'm at. We can't see, because there's a lot of people, and I need to say this, there's a lot of people condemn people for what they have done. And so I always say, because I hadn't did it, my sin is not as blatant as your sin.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what I do, I condemn you for not doing because I didn't do it. But when it comes to my sin, God forgives. He forgives. He's a forgiving God. But I got to look at the whole picture. And so when he started talking about unworthy, he was talking about my relationship, my connection with Christ. Because if I ever get a connection with Christ, whatever I was doing, God can clean me up.
Amen.
That's why he said he'll throw my sins and sin forgive and never come up again. Yeah. And also in Corinthians, it says the old man died, a new man show up. But it's my relationship. It's my connection with Christ. And so if I drink it and don't want that relationship or that connection, that's when the unworthiness comes in at.
Do a person know when another person is unworthy?
Yeah, in one sense, and not another. It's where your mind is. Now, if I'm looking for it, no, I don't think so.
Okay, well then, let's say on Sunday when you're doing communion. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Okay, down there where I'm at, right? Where I'm at, right? There's all kinds of folks come up in there, right?
Right.
So let's just say if we get one or two of them up in here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you pass out communion.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying now, he's unworthy to take this. Do I skip him? And go
No. You have no.
But I know what kind of person he is. So then,
No. In your mind,
I'm judging, not him.
yeah, you judge. You got a thought. Yeah, you got a thought, and what you're doing is you making a story out of a thought. What you say?
That's about judging.
Right, it does. But no, you can't. See, we're not God. And so because, and I say it this way, because I saw you somewhere yesterday, and I might have read it wrong, but I saw you.
I waved at you now.
I know, but it don't matter. But I read it wrong. You waved, you hollered, whatever you did, but I read it wrong. I said, now Tim had no business over there. What are you doing over there? And so today, we have a communion. I said, now I know he ain't going to take a communion. Well, I saw him at yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about.
But no. That's not your job. See, what you've done is you not only killed yourself, you've killed the person that you just condemned. And the Bible said we don't need to condemn folk. Right?
Right.
Yeah, because see, again, our sin is not so simple because your sin is so great.
Okay.
Right? With fear and trembling. That's right.
And you have to know there is no condemnation to those who are in Christ.
That are in Christ Jesus. So we don't never know. Because see, now you think about it, there are some people. Now you take now, I'm gonna tell y'all this now. Y'all know this, y'all know this. I was a sinner before I was saved. I'm talking about I was a real sinner. But think about all those people that did not see me past my sinful life. And now they see me, they say, I know that fella ain't no preacher. Well, what they've done, they've cut me down and out. And sometimes when we cut people out, we don't hear them because what they can do, they can draw us closer to where we need to be with Christ. But because I've gotten them to a point that in my mind, I block them out because I know they life. I know they past life. And so I block them out. Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got one other question.
Okay.
In verse 27, who is talking? Is God talking? Because it says, therefore, whoever eats of this bread and drink of this cup of the Lord is, in unworthy manner. So who?
Paul was talking.
Okay, this is Paul talking.
This is Paul talking. Yeah, Paul was talking.
So then, in a case like that, you have to judge yourself because you know yourself.
You know yourself. Yeah.
So that's where it come in with the unworthiness, right?
Unworthy. Now, later on down in the lesson, it shows how that we ought to get to a place to where we have to repent or ask for forgiveness prior to taking the communion. Because see, like I said, if anybody know you, you know you. Right?
Yes.
And so then we should not condemn other people, but then there's no condemnation in me because I know where my relationship with Christ.
Right.
I know where I'm going. Yeah, I know where I'm going. And so sometimes we do condemn ourselves. Sometimes we put ourselves down. Sometimes we say that no, I can't. And again, we were taught. I'm not worthy, Lord. Y'all heard the prayer. Now, Lord, I ain't worthy of what you're going to give me and what I'm asking for. But Lord, you know, why you say you're not worthy?
Okay.
But then we try to be modest. We try to be modest and try to jumpstart what God's going to give us. But if we'll be real and true to ourselves and say, look, this is what it is. You know, and so I can't put myself down and then I don't let somebody else. And there's a lot of times we let people tell us who we are.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, we let people tell us. So I don't get caught up. You know, there's a lot of pastors that do things because the members are looking for it, but God didn't say it.
Okay.
You can't operate in God or in the Spirit or in a structure based on what somebody is feeling or what's in their heart. Well, Pastor, I don't agree with you there. And so then he'll start saying, well, we just gonna go with it that way because you know we don't want to offend nobody. I want to offend you.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to offend you.
Okay.
Yeah, because Paul says that if this offends you for the gospel's sake, there's no apology. I want to make it right because see, I don't look at what people's thinking in their mind and say, well, yeah, they might have a point to that. No. That's why the Bible says, study to show ourselves true. A workman need not be ashamed. Rightly divide the word of truth. That's what the word says, right? And so we have to come together in a dignified fashion to where we're going to agree, we're going to sharpen, we're going to get together, but we're going to make sure God is getting the glory out of what we're at.
Amen.
Yeah, and so that's why I say you can't condemn it, but you have to be worthy of the fact, but you got to see yourself worthy. You got to see yourself able to take the communion because Jesus went through some stuff on Calvary.
Amen.
He went through some stuff. Yeah, you have another question? Oh, well, you look like you about to say something. I'm gonna notice your glasses when you pick the glasses.
That was my hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Then Pastor, just go back to us remember what the Lord's Supper is really all about. I'm just going to read it real quick. This is what Jesus said, and I'm reading John 6:53. Most assuredly I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood, this is Jesus talking to him, has eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is food indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in him. As the living Father sent me, I live because of the Father. So he who feeds on me will live because of me. This is the bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers ate the manna and are dead. He who eats this bread will live forever. And Jesus is the bread of life.
That's right.
And so we have to remember we have no life if we don't have.
And we don't have, well, you know, it goes back to when he told Peter that I need to wash your feet. And he said, no, I don't want you to wash my feet. And he said, well, if I don't wash your feet, you don't have no part with me. He said, well, you need to wash me all over again. Yeah, and that's the thing. And it goes back to the communion part that we have with Christ. It said, what should we do before we receive communion? In verse 28, it said, but let a man examine himself. Let him examine himself, and so let him eat that bread and drink that cup, because he examined himself. Amen. I can't tell Sam, no, you ain't drinking that. You ain't drinking that. No, man, I saw you. Did you? Yeah, but when we start examining ourselves, we become clear. Because see, if I can make sure I'm right, what is better is I'm better effective for God. If I don't make sure I'm right, I'm just piggybacking on somebody else, then it's not good for me. But if I can make sure I'm doing the right thing in the right manner, then what it does is strength to what I'm saying out of the mouth that I'm saying it out of. But if we don't examine ourselves, we start talking about communion. You know, he said we got to examine ourselves, and then he said, let the man take it. But I don't make sure I'm in right standing with God. Yeah, and you know, when you look at the standard that we focus on, there's a lot of stuff. Again, we're in war. We're in war right now. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come against us and come on us and going to make us start really looking. Because see, if you're not rooted and grounded, yeah, you're going to second guess yourself.
Isn't that true?
Yeah, you're going to second guess. You ought to have the power that he gave you when he got up. And so when you start second guess, you're releasing that power to somebody else. I used to tell folk all the time, and this is something I just say. You got to look at the way I said. I said that when Ahab cried in Jezebel's lap, he gave her his authority. That's what I said. I always said it. And the reason I said it is because see, he had no more strength.
Okay.
He had no more strength. She said, baby, I'll take care of it.
All right.
That's what she said. And so she was able to do some things he couldn't do because he had lost his strength. And so when you start saying I don't have the ability, and I got to ask this Paul, what you think about what I said? Did you enjoy my sermon today? Did I say anything that? And then she go to critiquing me. Well, Pastor, I don't think you should. But I'm gonna go back over there next Sunday because Miss Park didn't like that. I've given her my power.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving her. Yeah. Because if I understand and assurance that God gave it to me, I don't need to ask her what she thinks about it. Yeah. I have to go on because sometimes what we say will offend people, it's gonna hurt people, it's gonna knock people off their seats. But you got to keep moving if the Lord gave it to you.
Amen.
Amen. And so what happens to us if we continue to receive communion and do not turn from sin? Now we're in the sin part.
Okay.
Amen. It says in 29, it says, for he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. He's not connecting. He's not connecting. He didn't take in reference that Christ died for him that he might be saved. And so he drink it in a laughing manner. I'm going to drink this stuff anyway. I can do what I want to do. I can say what I want to say. I go where I want to go. I have no connection with Christ, but I'm going to drink it because it's been made available to me. But he's really not in position to drink the wine. Let me finish going like that. He's not in position to take the wine. And so it's death come to us when we don't connect with Christ, but yet we take his body. And what we do, we take it for granted. We take it for granted. Have anybody ever come to your house and just went in your refrigerator, went in your cabinets, went in your purse, took your money, and said, I got what I needed out there, and you don't just say nothing?
Okay.
That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, that's what you do to Christ when you don't connect with him. You don't have no relationship with him, but yet you're taking his body. You're pulling from him. You're pulling for what he's given people that really believe in him. And so if I'm going to confess Christ, then I ought to be able to walk into what he said. But if I don't walk in it, then really damnation comes to me because what I've done, I've slapped Christ in the face.
Okay.
Yeah. And I used to tell people all the time that when we don't accept Christ, what we told him about dying on the cross, he can go to heaven.
Okay.
That's what we really say.
Okay.
That's exactly what we say. Y'all don't told me that for him. Yeah, and that's what you do, because see what you do, you tell it that because it don't mean nothing to you what he did for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because he could have very easily, when they were walking him up Golgotha, he could have very easily told his dad, said, look, take me back, I don't want to go through this. But he stayed right there for us, didn't he?
He considered it at one point.
Yeah, oh yeah, he considered it, yeah. Yeah, when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, look, I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. What can happen as a result of this in the 30th verse? It says, for this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. That's why there's so much stuff in our churches.
And you know that.
There's no connection. People don't have no healing power. People don't have no strength. We can't speak life into nobody. Yeah, it's so much stuff happening to us now because what we do, we take for granted his dying.
is death. We take for granted. And that's why we can't speak life into people. The Bible says that we ought to be able to go in the hospital, go to the sick, lay hands on them, and they shall recover. Why don't they recover? They have no strength enough. We're weak in the air. We take it for granted. What he died for. That's what we are. So what Christ said is, right? He said in that other verse, this called many are weak and sick among you. Many are dead, dying. They're dying because they come for granted. They take it for granted. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Amen. Amen. But we have to know what our strengths are. And we have to know our strength is in him dying. Now if we don't look at the strength of him dying, then it actually happens. We tell God, I don't have nothing. You ain't shown me nothing. You haven't given me no sign or anything. And so and that's why I can't lay hands. And so I speak in a weak fashion. I speak with no authority. I talk with no authority. But I'm going to really do this in my community with Christ. God gives me results. Give me power. Amen. It says, how can we avoid being judged? Oh, that's right. So the church ought to be more together. Yeah. Please, man, that's right. The church ought to be more together because what we've done is examine ourselves, we judge our own selves. And so we have a fight. Regardless of what she's angry about or what she's hurt about, she can't stop you from what you feel about somebody else. But now, have we been, again, go back, have we been taught to bring stuff from home? And some say, at one point, we say that whatever happens at this house, stay at this house. But then, because we're hurt, we bring stuff out of the house, and we believe we can friend somebody, and so now we got to tell that person we can friend, thinking that, they're not going to tell it. But how often do we divide stuff because we don't have it to do? We divide people because we tell that person, and that person tells somebody else. But if we know we're going to kill somebody's character or kill somebody's position, we should pray. We start examining ourselves so we won't get to that point where it kills us. That's basically what we're going to keep, and that's what we're going to do. Right? They do not know it. God has told us it's plain. And so it's not a right. I think we get right and wrong. I think the right and wrong deceives us because we're looking for somebody to tell me I'm right. Yeah. We look for somebody. But if I'm in a relationship with Christ, I don't have to look for right or wrong. It's just something about my nature tells me, you know that ain't right. Yeah, and that's what we are. That's what we are. Next week we're going to be in prayer and worship. Prayer and worship. Like I told you, we're about to finish with the book. There's a book that I'm praying about, and it's the will of God. And I'll tell you the author next week. But I already have the book. It's the will of God. It's a new author. It's a pastor that wrote the book. We have a study just like this day. We're going to talk about the will of God the next time. These books have got to be good. Yeah. We'll study out that book. We'll get rid of this book. Let me go. Right. Well, you can consistently pray for him and ask God to allow his fingers to slow it down. But ultimately, he has to get to a place where he won't stop. There are some people who never stop. God told Moses to stop praying for Israel. He said, I got to do something to make them protect. There are some people in our family that do not change. They just have to. And so it shouldn't make your prayer be doubtful, or it shouldn't be in the fact that y'all pray. Just keep praying for them, prayerfully, and at some point, you will give God. Yeah, God put him in a position to hear. Yeah. He'll got it in his mind. You go back to Romans 1. There's some people, even that's believers, there's some things they don't believe about God. God said, I put you in a reprobate mind. And what he's doing is pulling stuff that you would normally get. He said he's pulling that stuff away. Because you cut him off. Yeah. You actually cut him off. He's not doing that. And then because God offers something else, God is going to let him carry it on out. Like I said, sometimes we have to get up and then stop praying. And do something different. Yeah. All right, we're going to try to get out of here. I don't know. I don't have my brother. Now, I got one, but it's in my truck. I never would have thought it's been raining. Do we have any prayer? That's the main thing. I'm going to ask you. You're on the last one. They said it's a pretty country around this time. Yeah. Right? Really? Wow. 6 months ago. They say Germany is coming like that. They say Germany is coming. So year round. Okay? 6 months of darkness and then 6 months of 20-hour light. Wow. That's something to adjust to. Okay, man. Is it bad enough to take? That's unusual. Okay. Let's pray. Lord God, we thank you now for tonight. We thank you for the lesson that you've given us tonight, God. We pray, God, now that we continue to stand, understand our relationship with you, understand the community, God. We continue to understand the connection that we have with you, God. The right and the wrong of the matter, God. We pray, God, that we'll continue to examine ourselves, God, judge ourselves, God. That God, we continue to do what you asked us to do. We pray, God, for people. We pray for people around us. We pray for our families, God. We pray for our friends. We pray, oh God, now that you'll look over James tonight, oh God, and continue to trouble his mind and spirit. Oh God, and bring him to you, God. We pray, Master, now that whatever is troubling him, whatever is going on in him, oh God, that Master, maybe he's something peaceful, man. We ask and pray, oh God, now that you'll continue to heal, that you'll continue to deliver. But Master, please bring him to you. And then, Master, if it's not your will, we ask, God, that you'll continue to condition the family. And they'll continue to rely on you regardless of what the matter is. That they'll continue to know that you are God, you're sovereign in every area. So God, we bless you tonight. We pray, oh God, for Sam, for travel time, God. We pray, oh God, for the time away from the family. We pray for the time away from us, oh God. We pray, oh God, now that you continue to give him traveling grace in every area, oh God. Continue to keep him, oh God, keep his mind, keep his soul, keep his spirit, oh God. And then let him, oh God, in this time of rest, oh God. And not to he'll continue to connect closer to you. We thank you again, Master, for all that you do. We pray, oh God, for every person, individual that's here. We pray, oh God, for Tim and Giovanni, oh God. We pray, oh God, even for their travel time. We pray, oh God, that you'll wrap your arms around them, Master. We pray that you'll continue to bless all around them. And then, particularly tonight, through the rain, through the storm, oh God, you'll give us traveling grace, Master. Thank you again for all that you do and all that you say and done. And we'll continue to give you glory, praise, and honor. It's in Jesus'